morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Thursday, and it is build day 297 on the construction schedule here at Villa Feliz. So anyway, we are going to get today started. We have landscaping, we have granite work being done, we have finishing, we have a little bit of everything being done today. So let's go ahead and get today started. Without further delay, let's get today's video underway. One of the first things I need to pay attention to this morning, we're doing the grading, and I can see we have a little bit of a problem in this section right here where the stairwell is. And remember, we built up this area, so they did a great job. This was going to be like a little retaining wall to keep water from going over and going down. And this area here is supposed to be higher than the back of here, but what we're finding is the slope that we have here is not quite where we need to be. We need to have a little bit more of a slope. So to give us a little bit more of an advantage to prevent water from settling in this, because right now this area is flat or even just a little bit lower, and as they keep adding soil inside here to build it up to give us a higher level here on the side of the house, what's happening over here is they're adding more soil over there, so we're countering what we're doing, trying to achieve over on this side by raising it up over there. Now that's higher and it's pushing. It's a major balancing act. So what we're going to do is we are going to add one more layer of concrete hollow block on top of this to bring it up to this level right here. So that gives us the ability to build up the soil just a little bit here to do towards the fence and towards the backyard. Believe it or not, over about a 30 meter span from this to the backyard, and I'm just guessing 30 meters. I don't know what the length is. I haven't measured it. But using a 6-inch, raising us at least 6 to 8 inches over here, this area right here, will give us a lot more of water flow going back in that direction right there, just in that amount of space. So I'm going to run to, you remember in the episode, there's a concrete hollow block maker, there's a Chinese concrete hollow block maker just outside the gate here. I'm going to go and see if I can pick up 5 more concrete hollow blocks from them. They're so inexpensive, and they need it right now, and we'll go ahead and take care, knock that out, so we can continue with our grading. So anyway, you remember the concrete hollow block manufacturing place right outside our gate by the Lomi shop. Well, anyway, I am picking up, this is a great resource to pick up these small amounts, the individual pieces. So we're picking up 6 of the 4-inch concrete hollow blocks. They are 8 pesos each. So for I'm getting 48 pesos. How are you today? The owner. So we're just getting a few to finish this job, and so we'll get what we're taking care of. We're taking care of that today. Day 2 here at McKelly. Let's see if we can find the cabinet doors that we need. Hopefully we can find something that is suitable. So remember, we need something that is something around 30 by 70. 30s are easy, the 70s another story. So let's see what we can look at here.
Just to have a design, you have to move a flat molding here. So you got to, panel molding. So you have this. You said five
Right.
centimeter for it. So you have to put this pillar. Yeah. So this one.
Yes.
So just to make this piece of wood.
Then you use the
not
trim
well, you have to trim this.
to make a box in.
Made a box.
Box
So
in.
this one.
like that, yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
So, not a continuous. You have
Correct,
to cut
correct,
this.
correct. This is
make
to
a
match
box,
up with each one of these panels that we have
Panel.
inside here.
Then panel.
Good thing that JoJo is here today. Remember, JoJo is who I bought all the doors from, the doors that we did. He hand selected the doors that we have inside our basement area. Also, what we're looking at today is what is our solution, and he came up with a great solution. I didn't even think about this, but this is a great solution. I think this is what we're going to go with. Remember, we have to have a spacing on the bottom. Remember, these are our 2 ref doors, and I have to have 3 sections over here that are 30 centimeters each in width. But I need to maintain this, and they don't have. I need at least 5 centimeters on this bottom section for your feet to go through. So what JoJo recommended is we do this. We take a filler on the top up here, which this is just an example. And what we would use is we would use 3/4 inch plywood. We would cut a piece of 3/4 inch plywood to fit inside the section above the doors. And then you use this trim. You see a trim just like this right here. And what we'll do a box in over here, box in over here. One for each one of the doors that represents below it. And it would be a nice accent feature inside there, and it would look like it was meant for that. So I think that's a good solution. And JoJo's the man today. He saved us. Thanks, JoJo. Well, anyway, I just came back from a killing. I thought I had everything I needed. And then I get back, and then my foreman says to me, oh, we need like 3,000 of the black sheet metal screws to connect our rails together, and we need sandpaper, and we need, I have all this list. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me this while I was downtown? But I think we might be able to. Remember I told you we have a hardware store right out front. Lag screws or expansion screws. These are what they call expansion screws here. It goes inside. This goes into concrete. Goes in, then it expands this, and it tightens it down into concrete. We need these for our posts that we're going to be using for the stairway that goes to the top and the bottom. They're very, very strong. They embed inside the concrete, and they work well. You drill the hole inside the wood post, and it goes through. This isn't long enough. We will get like 4. I think they're 4-inch lag bolts that we'll be using for that, or expansion bolts. Why didn't you tell me while I was downtown? I could have picked everything up. So we can't keep doing this. We got to have some communication here. Have a to-do list or a checklist of materials that we need. So we're going to check first. We're going to go right outside the gate and take a look at, see what they have. Anyway, right around the corner they had everything we need. We have the screws for the spindles. We have the lag bolts for the post, for the railing that goes for the steps inside the house. They have the sandpaper here. They have everything we need today. We do not need to run back into Lipo to get that stuff. So lucky we have these folks right around the corner from us. It makes it very, very convenient. Well, okay, I am back from the hardware store, and I turned over the supplies I picked up to my carpenter, and I sat down and I discussed some of the strategy for doing the connections on these, because I know what a lot of people will do, and this is going to be a tip of the day, and I will give you some information that might help you if you are a non-carpenter, wannabe carpenter, and most carpenters know this detail, But for those of you who don't, it might be a little tip that might help you later on with one of your projects. And it doesn't just apply to what we're doing with the deck rail system outside. It applies to anything that has to, when you want to take two pieces of wood and you want to connect them together with a screw. So let's talk about this one right here. Remember, this is the bottom rail, this is the top. We're doing a double top rail on this one right here. But we're going to focus right now on the bottom rail. Here, what I'll do is I will make this a little bit bigger so we can see what we're talking about. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do a countersink. A countersink is basically taking a bigger drill bit that's bigger than the head of the screw here, and what we'll do is we'll countersink it up, and maybe an eighth of an inch, maybe 3/16, maybe even a quarter of an inch. And what we'll do is we will countersink it so that when the screw goes in there, it will be hidden inside the wood, just like what you see right here. Then what we're going to do, before we even do the countersink, we're going to pre-drill. We're going to take a drill bit, the size or just a little bit bigger than the diameter of the screw, the width of the screw here, and then what we're going to do, we're going to drill straight through. So if you were to take the screw and push it through that bottom section before you set the spindle on top, it will be free going inside there. Then we'll put the spindle on the top, then we'll screw it in, and what will happen is, since it's free here, the top spindle up here will pull nice and tight against the bottom rail that we have inside here. Now, if you do it the opposite way, if you do it where you do not pre-drill, let me tell you what will happen, a consequence of not doing the pre-drilling. If you take the screw and you just start screwing from here and screw into this bottom plate right here, and then you go into the spindle, a lot of times when it moves out of this bottom, it will push the spindle up, and you will get a very, very tiny gap inside there, but you've already threaded yourself inside this bottom section, and you're going to thread yourself inside the spindle. What happens, that gap will not go away. And also, if you're using something like hardwood, if you're using like oak or one of the very, very hardwoods, and you're using a small diameter screw, a very thin screw, what you'll do by trying to go through both of them, you will snap off the head of your screw, and that will cause a lot of problems because you can't, then you got to take it out, and the top portion will pop off inside the spindle, and it just becomes a nightmare at that point. So tip of the day, pre-drill the first section it's going through. Do not pre-drill the second section, and screw your screw in, pull it tight together. Then, to make it even better, a recommendation is put a little dab of wood glue in between your spindle and your bottom rail. Not much, just enough, because what's going to happen when you pull those together, it's going to spread that glue out. So just put just enough so it doesn't come out around the edge. And it's not a nightmare if it comes out around the edge. You just get some paint thinner, and you can remove it off of that area around there, or just a rag sometimes when you first do it, and you won't have any problem, but you'll have a nice secure seating between your spindle and your rail. Well, we are recovering from the break time. The break time is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a little bit quiet right now, so we'll take advantage of quiet time. So the first stage, remember, sanding. Then you have sealing, then you have this paint stuff that they have in it, then you have sanding, then you have the paint again, and then you have sanding, then you have some sealing, and then painting and sanding. It's all kind of crazy, but this is going to take, you remember how long it took to get this? So I'm saying maybe still 2 more weeks for the bookshelf down there. Let's do a quick capture. It's really late, but Grace and Otto just came by. In fact, there they are right there. and they just dropped off half of the remainder of the posts, the support post brackets that we're using to complete the installation of the fencing. And I want to show you, speaking of the rail, we have one that's semi in right now, and this is how we closed out the day with our deck railing system. You can see we have this one up here, and it's not completed. We still have to do the top, which would end up making it the thickness of this right here. So it'll end up being this thick instead of that thick right there. We will put that on. That will be the last thing that we put on, because we have to do some cutting to adjust for the corner on each end there. Also today, you can see we started doing some topsoil. I guess while I was gone, I guess we ended up getting about the grade that we need. And the topsoil, with the topsoil, do you see they have the line levels? Or maybe you don't see. But I don't know if you can see the line levels here. They have a couple, and what they're doing the slope so everything slopes away from the house. You can see we finished the double-decker retaining wall over here, so we make sure that we don't get anything that comes inside here. If you'll notice, it's a little bit higher than this right here, but that's going to allow for when we put the over the top of this is going to be the tile system. So we still got about 50 millimeters, or yeah, I think about 50 millimeters to where we're going to be at the top. So it'll match up right here to the top up here, which is going to be our finished top with the tile and everything for that platform there. Then everything should go away. That's the plan, and we'll test it with the hose. Remember the hose test theory. Hopefully it's not too dark right now inside the house, so we can look and see what was completed today inside. A lot of sanding and sealing of the steps going up to the second floor. We did some tests of the posts that are going. I gave the information to my builder. The information didn't get passed on to my carpenter. So we wanted to make sure that we're on the same sheet of music. We are now on the same sheet of music. Back inside the CR, I think a couple of things I told you earlier. We talked about the granite that's inside here, and the black here. So tomorrow I will talk with my tile guy to make sure that we're on the same sheet of music, that this gets done exactly the way we want it done. We are at 2 pink shells. You remember the pink shells. These were once pink shells, remember. And this is the base coat before we start doing the finishing of the brown that gives us this nice grainy texture that looks like simulated wood. So that's the state we are on that project. Up here on the second floor in the master bedroom, more work being done to the cabinetry that goes underneath the sink, and where the ref is going, that ref which is going to go inside of here. We decided today that we are going to make one shelf in here. This is going to be a big area. He marked it off up here, so it's going to go up to here. Bigger area on the bottom, smaller area on the top. And this is for any big bottle or a spray can or anything. You need a little bit more space, some cleaning materials. So we'll have that inside of here. Everything looks like it's going to work great. Our doors that we picked out today, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 for the 2 that go. Oh, he's already got them mounted. Look at there, mounted for the one that goes on side the ref door. So we're doing good inside here. I don't think there was any more attention that was done to the French doors up here today, but we are looking good. Also on the lanai out here, all the posts were set with concrete. I believe they were all set with concrete. Take a look. Yes, 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 indeed. Well done. Next to last, and the last. So yes, we have all the posts up on the lanai, and they're all done. So the next step for these will be the same thing that's going on with the railing down there. We'll be doing the railing up here as well. So let's head back downstairs. And also today, inside the CR in the bathroom here on the master bedroom suite area, this I discussed with my tile guy. The exact measurements, exactly how we want to do. We are in the same situation that we had when we were working on the CR down inside. The first floor, we have a 240 centimeter long piece of granite, 60 centimeters deep. It is going to work perfectly here. If we do it exactly right, we have enough to do this vanity, the top of the center vanity, and the backsplash here, here, and there. We don't have enough to do this section. That is the only thing. So we have to come up with some kind of solution on how we want to finish the top of the linen cabinet. Well, it is dark. You see, it's dark. We put the lights on because we wanted to show Grace and her dad what the lights look like on the house today. And I just realized, well, even though it's getting dark, I forgot to do my shout-outs today because I was so busy with everything. But not too busy to go ahead and do shout-outs for February 1. So let's go ahead and do today's shout-outs. And we have just a couple of birthdays that we have to take care of today. So today is, again, February 1, and it is Errol Santos's 26th birthday. He and his dad, they're avid watchers of the channel, and it's a father and son watching the channel together. So, and his dad even sent a picture of Errol so that we could share that with you here. So anyway, to Errol, we want to wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Also for today, I hope there's enough light. The sun is dropping down really quick over the horizon. And hey, for February 1 also, it's Marbot's son, Carl Nino. He's celebrating his 17th birthday today. And his dad, his papa, is working in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So anyway, to you, Carl, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hapon. Is this the end of the day, Hapon? You think we should close here? I think Hapon said we have to close today so that we can edit today's video and get it ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Friday, and I don't know what bill day it is because every time I say what the bill day is, I get it wrong. Tomorrow is all I know is it's Friday, and okay, we're gonna make a guess. We're gonna say tomorrow is going to be bill day 298. I'm guessing 298 on the build schedule here at Villa Feliz. So anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that my little PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until tomorrow, you have a wonderful and blessed day.